What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Sir Flash, and welcome to another episode of Gamequest. Well, due to a couple of surprise deliveries on both a Sunday and a statutory holiday, we've got quite the episode lined up here. And what we're going to do today is spice things up with the format a little bit, because we've got two single titles and two compilations to go through. There's quite a bit to nail down here. So, we're going to start off with the stuff that I've already had, and then go on to the new title that we received for each respective type of game that we got here. So to start, this particular game that I've got right here is one that I've had for quite a while, and I got it from a guy that I knew online. He used to go by 8-Bit Mike. I don't know if he still goes by that nowadays, but that game is Platypus. And what makes this particular game special is that all of the elements within the game were originally made with clay and then photographed and then put into the game as elements. I believe it's Euro Shmup, and I can hear you rolling your eyes now, but, well, actually, you might be right to do that. There's not much to write home about in this particular game. Outside of the claymation style motif that it has, there isn't a whole lot going on in the gameplay. There's a few different power-ups that are available, and each one that you collect is timed. And man, each area goes on forever, so I guess it's got some legs to it, but there's just not really much of a hook to the game. So I'm sure we'll get around to this particular game at some point in the future, but until such a point, Platypus on the PSP, it's all right. Okay, mail on a Sunday. That yielded for us Space Invaders Galaxy Beat for the PlayStation Portable. This wraps up all of the Space Invader games for the PlayStation Portable, between Space Invaders Extreme and Space Invaders Pocket, as well as the few games that are available on like Taito Legends, which we'll get into, I'm sure, when we finally receive it. But Space Invaders Galaxy Beat has a number of interesting modes in it. There's a classic mode, which is just like your typical 1978 black and white version. There's a neat matchup mode, which allows you to play two players versus on a single PSP, which is pretty neat. But I think the main draw to this particular mode, this particular game rather, here is the future mode, which has 3D polygon graphics, and in a lot of ways it's a rhythm action game instead of just a shooting game. So there's a lot of emphasis with timing to a central beat. But the beat is kind of weird, because the music by and large sounds kind of like music that you'd find in, how to put this, in an adult video. So, you'll hear it for yourself in just a second here. Once you get it, it works, but I'm not sure how long I'd stay with it. So that's something I'm sure we'll look into when it finally comes time to reviewing this particular title. But yes, Space Invaders Galaxy Beat, with an adult twist that no one saw coming. All right, now for the compilations. First, let's take a look at some additional Capcom Classics with Capcom Classics Collection Reloaded. Capcom Classics Collection Reloaded is the second compilation that Capcom released for the PlayStation Portable, and much like the first game, which had a ton of shooting games on it, this one too has a whole bunch, including 1942, 1943, Vulgus, XX's, Son, Gun.Smoke, Mercs, Commando, and I think the crown jewel, Eco Fighters. So if you're looking for a good collection of shooting games for a very reasonable price, I gotta say Capcom Classics Collection delivers. Okay, finally, today's holiday delivery for Family Day, or Heritage Day, I guess it's called here. It's Family Day elsewhere. That is going to be Salamander Portable for the PSP. And man, this is quite the collection, because in addition to having Salamander, Life Force, Salamander 2, and Zexx, there's also an additional version of Gradius 2 on here that wasn't in the Gradius collection that we looked at on the last episode. I'm not even sure what version it is. I want to say it's probably the MSX version. But man, does it ever feel different. It took a lot of getting used to, actually. Especially since one of the face buttons paused the game constantly, so I had to rejigger that. But Salamander 2 sure is a standout title. And whoa, is there ever a great soundtrack accompanying it? Zexx is basically also... I want to say it's more or less Konami's R-Type, because you've got a modular bit that shields you from enemy fire. You can upgrade it and you can launch it to sort of let it do what it wants to do. The flintlock is quite the interesting ship. So Salamander Portable, if you like, again, Gradius type games, this basically makes up a total of 15 Gradius style games on the PlayStation Portable between this, Parodius, and the Gradius collection. The PlayStation Portable is where you want to be. If you like Gradius, if you love Gradius, you gotta have a PSP. There's just no avoiding it. To have all of these great shooters in one spot is pretty amazing stuff.
Destroy them all. Missile chamber is empty. Pick it up for multiple. Pick it up for multiple. Missile. Pick it up for steel ripple laser. Multiple. Laser. An intruder has penetrated our force field. Enter Hit-Me Zone. Hyperspeed. Disrupt missile. Hit-Me Zone cannot be destroyed. Danger zone. Hopefully acid flame. Acid flame.
Well, guys, that just about does it. This was kind of a lengthy episode thanks to all that footage, but man, we are getting close. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we're down to 6 titles, which includes the Soldier Series PC Engine Best Collection, Taito Legends Power Up, Atari Classics Remixed, Activision Hits, which is a lot of Atari stuff. We also need to get the SNK Classics Volume 0, and finally Midway Arcade Treasures Extended Play, which some of those collections only have like a handful or even 1 or 2 shooting games, but I'm really looking forward to getting that Star Soldier collection. So yeah, I gotta say, I'm super satisfied with this Salamander Portable, and Space Invaders Galaxy Beat is great in a pretty hilarious way, I gotta say. So there you have it, guys. 4 more titles on the quest. Well, 2 more titles received, but 4 more titles shown for the quest to get every physically released shoot 'em up for the PlayStation Portable. That's it for today, guys. We'll be back, I'm sure, shortly. We do have quite a few extra shooters in the mail. We're still waiting on 1945 Plus Portable, Strikers 1945 Plus Portable, Twin Bee Portable, which was just obtained, the Japanese version of WTF, Work Time Fun, and we have as well the Ginga Ojo-sama Densetsu collection incoming as well. So plenty more to go over. It's just a matter of receiving it. Until we see you guys again, though, this is Sarah Flash. Have a good one.